Okay. Um, Cuomo, yeah, him again. Cuomo was going to push his women's rights bill. Now, the women's rights bill is a 10-point plan about expanding women's rights. Making sure women get equal pay, harsher penalties for crimes against women, and one of the 10-point plans is expanding abortion to the point where a woman could be 9 months pregnant and say, I don't want to be pregnant anymore, and assault drill up the vagina, kill the baby. Now, he wanted to speak about this rights plan at a national park in New York. It's an actual national park. It's dedicated to a women's rights movement and the original feminist movement in America, which is founded by conservative Republicans. Okay, now, you know how we have the NRA, Gun Rights of America, Second Amendment Foundation, Cala Guns, New York State Rifle Pistol Association? They get together. Some guys have cross membership. There's a woman named Carol Cross. Now, Miss Cross is the president of the Susan B. Anthony Birthplace Museum in Adams, Massachusetts. And she came down here to be with that park in New York State as a get-together. And she met Cuomo personally. And she basically told him that the feminist movement was about preserving women's rights. They abhorred abortion. Abortion did exist in the 19-teens and 1920s. It was underground. They abhorred abortion. They didn't want men treating them like second-class citizens. Why were they going to treat a baby like a second-class citizen? And a lot of these women believe that it is wrong to kill a baby in the womb. They believe their job as a mother is to bring forth life and to create life, not destroy it. So I wrote her a letter. Dear Miss Cross, my name is Vinny. I live in Yonkers, New York. I recently heard your account of Andrew Cuomo, blah, blah, blah. And I basically discussed our current lawsuit. I'm going to just read briefly. My issue is twofold. First, I must point out the hypocrisy of Cuomo calling firearm owners extremists before concluding that we need to kill more babies. In the State of the State address in January, he called every gun owner in New York an extremist. He told lawmakers to ignore the extremists. He would say at a later date, they're extremists and they have no rights, their opinion doesn't count. And in the State of the State address, he said, let's expand abortion. The second point is that since 1973, more American babies have been killed by abortion than worldwide babies killed by war since 1775. I'm also aware that black people make up 10% of the United States population, while black babies make up 40% of all abortions. That 90% of abortion clinics are accidentally stationed in minority neighborhoods, and that in fact, abortion is our self-imposed Holocaust. Now, liberals talk about the Republican war on women, the war on women this, war on women that, women have rights. Now, let's assume that a woman wants to buy this. My Springfield Armory, stainless steel loaded, 1911, 7-round magazine sucked, so I upgraded it to a Wilson Combat 10-round magazine, and it has one in the chamber plus the 10, so this is 11 rounds right there. Let's assume a woman wanted to buy that. And she's like, okay, I want to buy this, and maybe she upgrades to an 8-round Wilson Combat magazine. I want to buy this. I want to put an 8-round magazine in here, plus one in the chamber. By the way, this bullet is a target ammunition, but it's 230 grain. I want to buy this gun. I want to put 8 rounds in it, plus one in the chamber. And if a criminal tries to kill my baby in the middle of the night, I want to defend my baby. Does she have that right? No, she does not. She's an extremist. But if a woman is 9 months pregnant and she says, get this fucking thing out of me, she has that right. Okay? Women have a right to kill their baby, not defend it. Okay, not defend their baby. Now, Republican want women, this and that. Now, conservative women that are Republican, conservative, women that oppose abortion, own firearms, believe in self-defense law, Fate of Destiny, Lima Life, Erica from Corey and Erica, who is going to be a mother very soon. Congratulations, Erica. Okay? They are conservative. They believe in guns. They believe in babies' rights. They believe, they believe in self-defense law. Okay? Sarah Palin, Laura Ingraham, Deneen Borelli. What do they call them? Slut, whore, cunt, bitch. Okay? Ed Schultz called Laura Ingraham a slut on his radio show. Bill Maher called Sarah Palin a cunt on HBO. So when a woman is like, wait a minute, I don't believe in killing my baby, I believe in protecting my baby, she's a cunt. When a woman wants to kill her baby in the womb, she is a citizen who is exercising a right. Okay? That is the liberal point of view towards women. Okay? Women that kill babies are feminists. Women that defend babies are cunts. Okay? This is the liberal logic we are using here. Now, I mentioned abortion clinics, okay? We're going to move on to black people now. Now, Democrats, liberals, they talk about Republican war against the black man. Republicans hate black people. Racism about black people. Black people this, black people that. Now, okay. Like I said, now, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order. The next president could have overturned it. The 13th Amendment was an official amendment which made slavery outlawed forever, period. 100% of Republicans voted for it. 77% of Democrats voted against it. The 14th Amendment was the original Civil Rights Act. That made all slaves, former slaves, citizens, and gave them all constitutional rights superseding state law. Okay. I talked about this a lot before. 100% of Republicans voted for it. 100% of Democrats voted against it. The 15th Amendment gave blacks the right to vote. 100% Republicans vote for, 100% Democrats vote against. 6 Democrats founded the Ku Klux Klan. After that, the Ku Klux Klan was hired by the Democratic Party as enforcers to use violence to stop white Republicans from giving blacks their civil rights. Okay, now, every Jim Crow law written by a liberal Democrat. All segregation, liberal Democrat. When there were more liberals than conservatives, we had segregation. When there were more conservatives than liberals, we had civil rights. Okay, now, there was a congressman whose name I will not mention. I forget him. I'm not even going to talk about him. There was a congressman, a black congressman, who said Republicans want blacks hanging from trees. Okay, why do blacks hang from trees? Blacks hang from trees because liberal Democrats tell the Ku Klux Klan to hang them from trees. That's why it happens. How is it possible to hang blacks from trees? Simple. Liberal Democrats disarm blacks, therefore they are defenseless when the Klan comes to kill them. Okay? Liberal Democrats passed gun control laws. Some states said you have to register your firearm. And the Klan will come to your house. Skin's too dark. Okay. Colt Dragoon, Spencer rifle, flintlock musket. Hand it over. Hand it over. Other districts were like, okay, you want to get a gun? Go to the police department and get a license. Go to the police department. White supremacist licensing officer will not give a black person a gun license. Therefore, when the Klan comes to town, blacks are disarmed. Bombings, burnings, lynchings, whippings, rapes, dismemberment, beheading, all done at the request of liberal Democrats against blacks. Also, any white Republican, up until the 1960s, the Klan would still kill white Republicans who dared help black people. They killed white Catholic priests that helped black people. They killed white Republican women school teachers that taught blacks to read. They were killed. They were killed. Okay? Herman Cain. Herman Cain is a black man who grew up in the South, controlled by liberal Democrats, endured segregation, was poor, went to college, became educated, went to the Navy to work as a civilian scientist on rockets, went into business and took businesses that were on the brink of bankruptcy and brought them back from a negative to a surplus. Okay? Now, liberal Democrats did not want black children to see Herman Cain, because if black children living in poverty saw Herman Cain, they'll wait a minute. He's not a Democrat, he's a Republican. He's educated. He has money. He made that money himself. The government didn't give it to him. I can be like him one day. No. Liberal Democrats, Herman Cain, Uncle Tom, Sambo, hostage, lapdog, slave. The most racial stuff in the world was said about Herman Cain by liberal Democrats. I even saw Fox News reporters stop black guys and say, "What do you think about Herman Cain?" And other black people talk bad about Herman Cain. Oreo, white on the outside, black on the outside, white on the inside. Oreo, Uncle Tom, sellout, lapdog, traitor. The most racist stuff in the world was said by liberal Democrats about Herman Cain. Here's how it's set up. Kid, 19 years old in the 9th grade, walks around with his pants down, failing every class. He might sell drugs, he might use drugs, he might be in the gang. He's either going to go to prison or he's going to be killed in the street. He is acting black. Other kid, very, very intelligent, straight A's. He might get a scholarship to a nice college somewhere. Maybe he likes to go to the museum and look at art. Maybe he plays the violin. He likes to read. He's acting white. Anyone who is stupid is acting black. Anyone who is smart is acting white. Liberal Democrats tell black kids this. They tell white kids this. He's a sellout. He's an Uncle Tom. He's a cracker. He's gonna... Don't pay attention to him. He's not for you. Okay? He's a nerd. Go beat him up. Let's talk about the inner city. In the inner city, we have gun control. New York City, Chicago, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. are the 4 murder capitals of the United States. Might be 1 or 2 others, I'm sorry, but okay. Now, 3 out of the 4 are fanatically anti-gun. Michigan is mostly pro-gun, so guys in Detroit get a break of gun control for now. Now, the gun control works, okay. The Gabby Gifford shooting was the only mass shooting in 50 years that did not take place in a gun-free zone. By mass shooting, I mean a shooting where more than 3 guys got shot, not gang-related. So if 5 gangbangers go out with machine guns and kill each other, that's okay. But innocent victims, more than 3 shot, mass shooting. Every single one of them, except the Gabby Gifford shooting, took place in a gun-free zone. Jim Holmes went to the movie theater because it was designated a gun-free zone. Larger movie theaters and movie theaters close to his house were allowing customers to carry guns. Okay? Now, in the inner city, they say gun control works. Well, you have the Supreme Court. Now, in 2008, he who must not be named said that the Supreme Court was wrong for overturning the DC gun ban. He wanted the DC gun ban to be nationwide, which means only a police officer can own a handgun, not a citizen. Rifles and shotguns could not have any evil features. They had to be disabled at all times, and the penal code in DC prior to 2008 literally said your gun must be disabled so you cannot use it for self-defense. which means in 2007, a guy in DC had a break-in, ran to the bedroom, got out a double-barrel shotgun, put it together, loaded it, hid in the corner. Guy could have come in with a knife, die motherfucker. He could have shot him with the shotgun. He would have went to jail because self-defense was outlawed in DC. 5 conservative justices of the Supreme Court overturned that. Self-defense is now legal in DC. No castle doctrine, but you can self-defend yourself as last resort. And you're allowed to buy a handgun. Okay, now, the half of DC where there were politicians who have armed guards had 0 crime. The other half of DC that had minorities and poor people, massive crime. Rape, murder, robbery, carjacking, home invasion. Okay? Now, the liberals who care about minorities, care about the poor, care about public safety, condemned the Supreme Court justice for overturning that. And the city liberals said, okay, you want to get a handgun? Look at Emily Moore's blog and read her book coming out. Registration this, fee that, license this, safety class that. You want to take a safety class? Get in your car, drive to Maryland or Virginia and take the safety class there. You want to practice? Drive to Virginia or Maryland and shoot there. You're not allowed to shoot in DC. No gun range in DC. Well, what if you don't have a car because you're poor? You're a poor minority guy that lives in the ghetto. You don't have a car. And you can't get a gun. Aren't they disarmed? Oh yeah, but not a big deal. Look at New York City. New York City, $340 fee for a handgun license, then every 3 years. $140 fee for a long gun license, then every 3 years. In all of New York State, you apply for your handgun license in person the first time because you gotta give your fingerprints to the detective. You reapply every 5 years, like I do in Westchester. I reapply every 5 years. I reapply by mail. Now, my licensing, long gun license, does not exist outside of New York City. Okay? Handgun license varies by county. My county, $10 to get the handgun license, the application. $5 every 3 years. Every 5 years, I'm sorry. And $3 to register a new handgun. First handgun registration is free. Contrary to that, New York City, $340 for the handgun, $140 for long gun. That's on appeal. New York State Rifle Pistol Association, Second Amendment Foundation sued them. They won. It's on appeal. Register, renew every 3 years. Pay the fee every 3 years. Renew in person in Manhattan, One Police Plaza. If you live down the block, not a problem. You live in Brooklyn, Staten Island, it might be a problem. New York City's big. Okay, so they say, okay, you want to buy a gun, registration fees, license fees, safety class fees, this fee, that fee, this loophole, that loophole. Go out of your way, long trip, you got to take off a day of work in the middle of the week to go down to the station and fill this out, blah, blah, blah. They throw up hurdles. And as a result, they have de facto banned all guns because poor people can't get guns, okay? The only guys that can get guns are guys that can drive their car to the place for registration, or in DC, drive your car out of the city to go shoot or go to take a safety class. So they've disenfranchised the minorities, the poor, the blacks. Okay, they've disenfranchised them. And as a result, the gangbangers and drug dealers and rapists and murderers and home invaders, they have guns because they don't register their guns. And who's the victim? Innocent people. You got a black guy who lives in a bad neighborhood. He works. He has a girlfriend with a baby. He's an honest man. He's just poor. He's honest. He can't get a gun because he can't pay the fees. He can't take off work to go downtown. He can't have a car to go across the state lines to go to Virginia and Maryland. Okay? Okay? So now he's disarmed. But the criminals that want to come in his house and hurt his family, they're armed. Okay? Public safety. Emperor Bloomberg. Look at my last video. It's less than a minute long. 25 shootings in New York City in less than 48 hours. For that 48-hour period, New York City was the most dangerous city in the country, even more dangerous than Chicago for that 48-hour period. Day and a half later, a 26th shooting. Emperor Bloomberg comes out, my gun control policy works. Okay. That's like a doctor doing an experiment on a cancer patient. The experiment backfires, the cancer doubles, the patient dies, and the doctor comes to the funeral, stands over the body. The experiment was a complete success. Now, let's continue protecting the children. Newtown, Connecticut. The state of Connecticut passed unconstitutional gun bans that are being contested in court. The town of Newtown did not give 1 penny for school security. No bulletproof window, no bulletproof door, no armed guard, no panic alarm, no alarm that goes directly to the SWAT team when a school gets invaded. Newtown, Connecticut did not spend 1 penny on security for their schools, period, end of story. Yet they care about the children. Okay? Now, Andrew Cuomo, reducing magazine capacity to 7 rounds guarantees public safety. The state troopers that protect himself, his girlfriend, and his 3 daughters carry Glock 37s with 10 rounds of 45 gap in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. And they're allowed to carry to school, they're allowed to carry to church, they're allowed to carry to New York City, they're allowed to carry across state lines, but gun control works for you. Okay? Your kids are safe because there are no guns in school. His kids are safe because they have state police protecting them with arms 24 hours a day. Emperor Bloomberg rides around in his fucking limousine. He has police detectives. When he goes to DC, police detectives follow him with their arms. You saw a reporter trying to ask Emperor Bloomberg a question when he attended a DC conference. New York City police officer chasing a reporter down the street. Wait a minute. This is DC. You're a New York City police detective. Why are you chasing a reporter? We'll get Ron Emanuel. Chicago. There are more American citizens killed in the city of Chicago since 2001 than American citizens killed in the country of Afghanistan since 2001. I support the troops. Let me tell you something, okay? If you live in Chicago, the troops should support you. Because you are in more danger in Chicago than the troops in Afghanistan. At least in Afghanistan, the troops have a fucking gun. Now, Ron Emanuel, he wanted to prove that Chicago was a safe city. So he walks down the street with 5 police officers. Okay, now, you have a right to kill your baby, but not defend your baby. Right, okay. Politicians that hire terrorists to kill black people care about civil rights. Politicians who pass laws to protect black people from those politicians do not. Gun-free zones work, but exemptions are for politicians and their families. Okay? 25 shootings in 48 hours is success. 0 shootings in 48 hours is failure. Okay? Liberalism is a disease. Liberalism is a disease. Liberalism is a disease of the mind. Okay? It is an infection. In fact, if I have enough battery life, I'm going to tell you a story. I think I do. There was a girl I went to high school with. She was black. She was descended from Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. She was. She passed along last year one of those massive Facebook status updates. You write a status update, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and it spreads. He who must not be named is the greatest president ever because he closed Guantanamo Bay. He did. He established peace in the Middle East. We have peace in the Middle East now. He proves the racism in the GOP. So, I call her out on this. So listen, I'm a Republican. How are we racist? And I tried to explain. I said, Guantanamo Bay is not closed. Look it up. It's not closed. And I tried to explain to her about his spending, about his lies, I tried to explain rationally this, that, and the other thing about why I don't like him. It's because he's black, isn't it? Admit it. You don't like him because he's black. You're a racist. You don't like him because he's black. This is someone who knew me more than half my life and never heard me say a racial thing ever. It's because he's black. He was far better than George Bush. It's because he's black. And I did talk about, Bill Ayers and Robert Byrd. It's because he's black. He was black. You hate black people. You're a racist. You're a racist. You're a racist. And I'm like, honey, calm the fuck down. Okay, take a deep breath. Calm down. Okay? And I'm explaining to her, the dead is this, the dead is that. I'm trying to explain. He condemned George Bush for this, but then he did this. I'm trying to explain rationally. And even if he disagree with me, it's because he's black. It's because he's black. Okay? Now, I got really fucking... Another time I'm talking, and I see a picture on Facebook of George Bush dancing with a female soldier who lost her leg, and I shared it. Then I see another picture of He Must Not Be Named with a t-shirt photoshopped on, and the t-shirt is testicles, so it looks like his head's the dick. And I shared that too. She came on my fucking face, left the fucking message. I'm bleeding you because you're a racist. You don't like him because he's black. It's because he's black. You hate black people. Okay? This is what they do. They brainwash their constituents. Okay? They brainwash women. You have a right to kill your baby in the womb, but if you buy a gun to defend your baby, that's wrong. Okay? 90% of abortion clinics are in black neighborhoods, and all crime is in black neighborhoods, but Republicans are racist. Okay? Herman Cain is a sellout because he wants to be a Republican and he has his own ideas. Don't listen to him. He's wrong. He's bad for you. And gun control works because we take away your guns, but not the police officers' guns. We take away your guns, but not the gang members' guns, okay? And they continually feed that shit in to their constituents, okay? And I had a person who knew me more than half my life who said I was a racist, okay? It is a disease. Make no mistake, it is a disease, okay? John F. Kennedy was an NRA member, and he believed gun ownership should be mandatory. Martin Luther King was a Republican, a gun owner. He applied for a carry conceal license when the Klan bombed his house. And these two men are the poster child for gun control. Okay? It is a disease. You twist the facts to fit your agenda. Okay? Black guys that think on their own are sellouts. But Republicans are racist. Okay? That's the mentality. They cannot tell they cannot tell their constituents, hey, the Klan works for us. Hey, we started Jim Crow laws, we started race laws and gun measures and voting rights, voting laws. We started that shit. They can't say that their constituents. It's a fucking disease of the mind. Thank you.